Welcome to Fading Love Stories. Subscribe for more stories of strength and resilience. I never thought I would be telling this story. I always believed that betrayal was something that happened to other people in books, in movies, in tragic love stories, but never to me. I was the kind of person who trusted deeply, who loved without hesitation. I believed that when someone promised to be there forever, they meant it. I thought love was enough. But life has a way of teaching us the hardest lessons in the most painful ways. It started out like every great love, a story full of laughter, late-night conversations, and the feeling that I had finally found someone who saw me, who truly understood me. We talked about the future as if it was already written in the stars. We shared secrets, dreams, and promises. I believed we were unbreakable, and then everything changed. At first, it was just a feeling, a small shift in the air. The way they started coming home later, the way their phone was always facing down, the texts they would quickly swipe away when I walked into the room. I told myself it was nothing. I didn't want to be that person, the one who doubted, who questioned, who assumed the worst. I ignored the little voice inside me, the one whispering that something wasn't right. I convinced myself I was overthinking. After all, they loved me, right? They wouldn't do this to me. But then came the night that changed everything. A message. A name I didn't recognize. Words that weren't meant for me. My hands shook as I stared at the screen, my stomach twisting into knots. My mind raced, trying to find some logical explanation, some way to believe that what I was seeing wasn't real. But it was real. When I confronted them, I saw it in their eyes before they even spoke. Guilt, fear. The truth was already there, written all over their face. And the worst part? They didn't even try to deny it. I didn't mean for this to happen. Those words still haunt me. They didn't mean for it to happen, but it happened anyway. And suddenly, everything I thought I knew, everything I believed in, shattered into a million pieces. I wish I could say I walked away that night with my head held high, that I knew my worth and left without looking back. But that's not what happened. Instead, I crumbled. I begged for an explanation. I wanted to understand. I needed to know why. Why would they do this? Why would they throw away everything we had built together? Why wasn't I enough? And that's where the real pain began. Not just in the betrayal itself, but in the doubt it planted inside me. I started questioning everything about myself. Maybe if I had been prettier, smarter, more exciting, this wouldn't have happened. Maybe I had failed them in some way. Maybe I had been too much, or not enough. I spent weeks drowning in those thoughts. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. My heart felt heavy. My mind filled with memories that now felt like lies. I replayed every moment of our relationship, looking for the signs I had missed, the warning flags I had ignored. And then came the loneliness. I pulled away from my friends, from my family. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to hear them say I deserved better, because deep down, I wasn't sure I believed it. I let the pain consume me. But here's the thing about pain: it demands to be felt, but it doesn't have to last forever. One day, I woke up and realized something. I was still here. The pain hadn't killed me. The heartbreak hadn't destroyed me. I had survived something I once thought I wouldn't be able to handle. And if I had made it this far, then maybe, just maybe, I had the strength to keep going. So, I did. At first, it was just small things. Getting out of bed, taking a walk, forcing myself to eat a proper meal. Then, I started writing, pouring all of my pain, my anger, my confusion onto paper. Every word I wrote became a step toward healing. Then, I started reconnecting with the people I had pushed away. I let them in, let them remind me of who I was before all of this. And slowly, I started seeing myself again, not as the person who had been betrayed, but as someone who had survived. I learned something important in those months. Forgiveness isn't about excusing what someone did to you. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of what they did. I wasn't ready to forgive them, not yet. But I realized I had to forgive myself. I had to stop blaming myself for their choices. I had to stop thinking that their betrayal was a reflection of my worth. Because it wasn't. Betrayal is a choice. And it was their choice and not mine. So I set boundaries. I stopped making excuses for people who didn't deserve my loyalty. I stopped chasing closure from someone who had already shown me who they really were. And most importantly, I learned how to love myself again. I started doing things that made me happy, things I had forgotten about, while I was so busy trying to be enough for someone else. I picked up old hobbies. I traveled. I surrounded myself with people who truly cared about me. And one day, without even realizing it, I woke up and felt free. The pain was still there, but it no longer controlled me. The memories still existed, but they no longer defined me. I had survived. And not just survived, I had grown. I had become stronger, wiser, more confident. I had learned what I deserved, and I knew now that I would never settle for less again. So, to anyone going through this right now, to anyone feeling like they will never heal, like they will never be able to trust or love again, please, hear me when I say this. You will be okay, asterisk. One day you will wake up, and the pain won't be the first thing you feel. One day you will look in the mirror and see not someone who was betrayed, but someone who survived. Someone who is stronger, wiser, and more resilient than they ever thought possible. Betrayal does not define you. Heartbreak does not define you. How you rise from it, that's what defines you, asterisk. And trust me, you will rise. Now, it's your turn. Have you ever been through something like this? How did you heal? Let's create a space for support and strength. Drop a comment below and share your story. You never know who might need to hear it. And if this story resonated with you, hit the like button, subscribe, and stick around for more real stories, life lessons, and honest conversations. Because no matter what happens, we always come back stronger, asterisk.